All right, in this video, I'm going over the main card of UFC 323, Merab Dvalishvili versus Peter Yan. It's a very stacked main card. Great way to end the year. And it's the last pay-per-view ever if Paramount decides not to do them, which I'm pretty sure that's the deal. So that's interesting. And I know everybody doesn't really pay pay-per-views and they just pirate it, but I'm one of the few that still do pay for pay-per-views because I feel more comfortable with ESPN over pirated sites in terms of glitching. I don't want the main event to glitch and then I miss Pereira knocking out Ank. But ESPN's trash and ends up glitching anyway. So I'm very happy we're going to Paramount. So yeah, I'm just going to be going over the main card in this video. I'm going to be doing it a little bit differently, starting from the top, going down, starting with Merab Dvalishvili versus Peter Yan, the main event. And I'm going to go, sadly, with Merab because he beat the shit out of him. He didn't beat the shit out of him. He dominated Peter Yan in the first fight. And Merab Dvalishvili is just a monster in the cardio. He's never going to get beaten ever at bantamweight, especially not rematches. And Peter Yan, in my opinion, doesn't have the tool bag to beat Merab. He could chin him, but that's where you have to chin him. Otherwise, he's going to out cardio you. He's going to shoot 40 fucking 9 takedowns, I think it was, against Peter Yan in their first fight. Peter stuffed a lot of them, almost all of them. Not all, I guess. He stuffed a lot of them, the majority of them. But Merab kept coming. He can shoot 50 takedowns and have it not matter whatsoever because he's a freak. Peter, on the other hand, said that he was injured in the first fight. He said his right arm was injured. It's why he didn't throw it very much in the fight. So that might change things, but I just don't think that changes Merab's cardio. It's not going to alter that. I know Peter has good cardio, but he's not going to come into this fight with different cardio, I don't think. And that's really what you need to have unless you have insane knockout power to beat Merab. You have to be a sniper. I honestly still think that Sean O'Malley is the best bet at beating Merab, as weird as it sounds. But we need that one punch knockout sniper in the division to beat Merab. And Peter has to output strike his opponent before he finishes him. He could catch Merab because Merab's been rocked by like random fighters like Marlon Moraes, and he's lost fights. He's lost to Ricky Simone, but Merab's going to become the GOAT of the UFC because he's going to fight till he's 50. He said it himself, and he has the stupidest cardio of any fighter ever of all time. And he already beat Peter, so it's pretty clear pick for me, sadly. Merab by boring grappling decision. Fuck. Next, Alejandro Pantoja versus Joshua Van. So, again, it's the grappling. Pantoja is 10 times better at grappling than Joshua Van. Joshua's been training MMA for like a quarter of the time Pantoja has, and especially in the ground game. Josh has very good striking. He's one of the most fun fighters in the UFC right now. He had the fucking war with Brandon Royval in his last fight where they went tit for tat. Crazy striking showcase from both of them. Joshua was able to land the bigger and better shots and get the decision. I thought he clearly won. There's obviously an argument for Brandon, but I thought Joshua clearly won. He came onto the scene. He had his little run. He got beat by Charles Johnson. He's been on a streak since then. He kind of got fast tracked to the title, and that's something you don't want against Pantoja, because Pantoja has been here against the best guys on earth for so long, and he's beaten everybody, and he's probably has the best grappling ever of all time at flyweight. And he has one of the best chins in the UFC. You have to chin Pantoja to beat him, or you have to chin him because he's gonna take you down. And sadly, Joshua Van doesn't have the grappling credentials or background or experience to stop Pantoja in the grappling department whatsoever. And Joshua, he has great striking and he has finishes on the feet, but he doesn't have the power to put away Pantoja. I don't think anybody does. And kind of like Merab, I think Pantoja is going to be running this shit for a long time. And if they both win, which I think they're going to, I say you put them against each other because that's the only compelling matchup for both of these fighters after they both win on UFC 323 because Pantoja will, at this point, be in contention for the flyweight GOAT if he wins. And Merab has been the bantamweight GOAT 2 fights ago. So you do a GOAT versus GOAT matchup if they both win, which I definitely think they're gonna. But it's literally the two grappling phenoms versus the two insanely fun strikers. But sadly, the two insanely fun strikers are not the one punch knockout power people that I need to win. Sadly. Next, Brandon Moreno versus Tetsuro Taira. So, this might be controversial, but I think Brandon Moreno's over the hill. I think he's kind of getting old. I think he's taken a lot of damage. He's been through a lot of fights. He looked weird in his last couple fights, and I think Tetsuro Taira is young. He's improving. He's got a first round knockout over Hyung Sung Park in his last fight, even though Park took it out in like really short notice. But he got fucking knocked down and submitted, I believe. Yeah, in like the first, yeah, in the first round, I believe. Tetsuro dominated the fight. Clearly dominated him. Finished him. Taira came back after the Brandon Royval fight with a fucking phenomenal performance. And he looked really good against Brandon Royval in the grappling, at least. That's where I think Taira will have the edge in this fight as well. I think he'll be able to take down Moreno. I think he'll be able to do his goofy jiu-jitsu shit and get Moreno down. Maybe in the past, Moreno could scramble with him because he has great scrambles. He's a former champ. He's scrambled with the best fighters. He scrambled with Figueiredo. He's scrambled with everybody. He scrambled with Pantoja. But he's getting older. I don't trust him as much. I don't trust his mentality as much. And Taira's the young up-and-coming guy. He's still in the mix. He's only lost to Brandon Royval, which is not a bad loss at all. Royval is a fucking tough motherfucker for anybody in the division, even Pantoja. Taira, he did good against him. His problems were on the feet. He has a good chin. He has no head movement at all because he's Asian. That's just a thing that comes with the Asians. It's okay, though. Brandon's been slower on the feet as of late. And Taira, to me, is getting better on the feet as time goes on. And he's way younger and has a lot more time to improve. And I think he is improving. So I'm going to go with Taira. Probably by decision. Because I don't... Maybe submission. I could see him submitting Brandon Moreno, but it would be really hard to submit him. But Taira is kind of different on the ground, I think. Brandon might have an edge on the feet, but I just think Brandon's been looking slower and duller and worse as time goes on, while Taira's been improving, getting better. Already had the fight against Brandon Royval, which Brandon Moreno had a very close fight with Brandon Royval as well, and lost. They're very similar skill level at this point, but I think Taira's freaky jiu-jitsu skill is going to give him the edge in this fight. So yeah, I'm going to go with Taira. That might be not very popular, but I don't care. Next, Henry Cejudo versus Peyton Talbot. This fight shouldn't be happening. I don't see why Peyton Talbot gets a win over Felipe Lima and then he gets Henry Cejudo before the Felipe Lima fight. He fought Ronnie Barcelos and lost clearly and got dominated by fucking Ronnie Barcelos, who's actually pretty good. He's kind of on a streak right now, and he should probably get a raked opponent. But Peyton Talbot comes off a win against Felipe Lima, and now he gets Henry Cejudo, number 10, former Olympian, double champion, one of the biggest stars. Not really. He's very good, though. He's a very good fighter. He's old, but he's not that old, and his last fight against Song Yadong ended weird, but his fight before that was great. He's not showing signs that he's just deteriorating to an insane degree. And all of his losses as of late have been against the best guys on earth. Merab Aljamain, Merab Aljamain. I feel like he lost one more. Maybe I'm tweaking. I know he lost to Song Yadong because of the eye poke, but he was looking good in that fight, and I like Song Yadong's takedown defense. What I don't like is Peyton Talbot getting out grapple fucked by Ronnie Barcelos. Henry Cejudo is 10 times the grappler Ronnie Barcelos is. Maybe not 10 times. 5 times the grappler Ronnie Barcelos is. He's going to be able to take down Peyton Talbot. I know Talbot has a lot of power and he's young and he can improve, but he's gay. I'm joking. He likes being on bottom. And Henry Cejudo is going to be able to put him there and hold him there I think he's going to be able to take him down and hold him down. If Ronnie Barcelos did it in his old age, then I think a similar age Henry Cejudo, who's an Olympian wrestler and has fought the best guys in the world and is a double champ, will be able to hold down fucking Peyton Talbot at this point. Talbot has good wins. They're against no one. He's not going to knock out Henry Cejudo. Cejudo has a fucking dynamite chin, and he's going to be able to impose his will on Peyton Talbot, I think, at this point. I'm going to get this matchup. You're trying to feed Peyton Talbot maybe a star-making performance if he does chin Henry, but it doesn't really... I don't see why they're trying to hype up Talbot so much, to be honest. I know he's well-liked and he has a big following, but... Ronnie Barcelos, dude. It's not a good loss. It's not that bad, but come on now. Henry Cejudo is your next jump up. after showing no improvement in the grappling. I know he showed a little bit against Felipe Lima, but that's no Henry Cejudo. So yeah. Also, Lima's a full-on striker. Next, Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Guskov. So Bogdan has been on a tear, fucking tear. He lost to Ozdemir, but besides that, he's dominating, and he's dominating by finish. And he's coming off a win against Nikita Krylov by knockout, devastating knockout. Bogdan's a powerhouse. He's Anthony Smith, but way better and way bigger and less pig-looking. Jan Blachowicz, on the other hand, is getting old, but he's still the motherfucking guy at light heavyweight. He is still the guy. He is the striker, well-rounded unit, kind of gatekeeper of the top five. But he is he keeps that gate very effectively. He's coming off of a loss to Carlos Ulberg, which he arguably won. And Carlos Ulberg is in the rumors to get the next title shot against Alex Ferreira. And besides the Jan Blachowicz performance, Carlos Ulberg has been dominating. And Blachowicz shut him down on the feet to a degree where he arguably won. I thought he got robbed. Jan, in his old age, is still dominating these guys, doing very well, keeping up with the competition. And Bogdan, I don't think he has the skill set to beat someone of Jan Blachowicz's caliber. He's not going to be able to take him down. On the feet, Bogdan's very powerful. But he's not technical enough to beat Jan Blachowicz. Blachowicz doesn't have a bad shin whatsoever. And Blachowicz has a lot of power in himself. But what I think is going to be the difference is Jan Blachowicz' technical ability on the feet. He is way better at striking effectively and technically on the feet than Bogdan. Bogdan's kind of a wild striker. He gets into exchanges. He has a lot of power. Jan Blachowicz was able to outstrike some of the best fighters on earth. He was able to outstrike Izzy, utilize the grappling as well, but he was not doing bad on the feet at all, and he was winning the fight everywhere. Izzy is obviously one of the best strikers in UFC history. No matter how you look at his outside of UFC life, he is still a very good fighter. Jan, yeah, the decision win over Carlos Ulberg, or decision loss, but he looked extremely good. His only like smear in his like record to me is the how easily he got shit on by Glover Teixeira. But Bogdan's not going to take him down and submit him like that, like Teixeira was able to do. Jan is just that solid guy of the division, and I'm not going to not pick him until he gets chinned out cold or shows me that he's indominant, like that he's just being dominated by these younger guys, which he has not shown me whatsoever. Blachowicz gave Pereira his toughest fight in the striking as well, in the grappling, of course. But Blachowicz arguably won that fight against Pereira. He went to a draw against Magomed Ankalaev, former champion, amazing grappler, great striker. He's right there, neck and neck with the top contenders in the UFC's light heavyweight division, and he's a former champion. Bogdan does not have the experience against these top guys or the skill set to beat Jan Blachowicz. Maybe he will soon, and maybe Jan Blachowicz is at that age where he'll start to deteriorate, and he has had injuries in the past, but I don't think so. I think I'm going to go with Jan Blachowicz to beat Bogdan Guskov in this fight. So yeah, those are my picks. Let me know what you think, and I will see you soon.